Sparks that I don't remember. Hold and let it shine. Fix and start to fade away. Fix and start to fade away. Fix and start to fade away.
Hello, dear friends of Kabala International. We are once again with Mario Sabán. How are you, Mario?
Very well, Nacho. How are you?
Excellent, Mario. Today it is our turn to talk about reincarnation, the rotation of souls, Guilul Haneshamot. The concept of rotation implies that there is a cycle. Who develops, who does, who carries out this cycle, and why do we think they do it?
Well, look, I would say that we don't believe it. We experience the rotation. Throughout history, the Kabbalists have said that one can only explain the subject of rotation who feels that he is a soul that has had a previous history. So I am afraid that those who are listening to us believe that it is a matter of belief. I am often asked, do you believe in reincarnation, in rotation? I answer, I do not believe. I have experienced it. Whoever has not experienced the rotation of his soul cannot give a class on rotation, because it is like explaining something theoretical where the experience of the soul has not passed. For those who listen to us to understand, we must begin with the division of the soul. Our soul is divided into several levels. According to Isaac Luria, 2 levels of the soul approach matter: nefesh, which is the animal body, the material body, the animal soul. Ruaj, which is the psyche, is derived from the conditioning of the DNA of matter itself, the bodily DNA. Ruaj, although it belongs to the universe of Yetzirah, which is the universe of formation, its root comes from matter. Therefore, in our soul, we have 2 parts that are conditioners of matter: our body, which is material, and our psychic structure in the DNA of information, which is also material. But what rotates is the neshama. The neshama is that energy, the Kabbalists say, that enters into the baby 40 days after conception, inside the mother's womb. Somehow it enters and begins to be its tikkun, its rectification. Now there are several questions regarding the rotation of souls. We should start with Rabbi Jacob Ergas, who in 1967 in Turkey said that rotation is like a principle of faith within Judaism. It is what Maimonides said within the 13 principles, which Maimonides does not put it, but he says that this is like a reality within the Jewish faith. In Kabbalah, we don't believe in rotation, we experience rotation. And how does it operate? What are the mechanisms? What about the soul? The soul exists outside the body in what we call the Olam Haba, the world of the future. That Olam Haba is not in another galaxy, it is in another dimension, to call it somehow, in another energy. The souls of the Neshamot, who have died or who have not yet incarnated, are conscious energies that do not have a body on the other side, and that we could say take possession of a body when after 40 days neshama enters. And the tikkun has to do it in matter. You cannot do tikkun outside of matter. Therefore, the soul is obliged to come to make its rectification. And when it comes, in a way, what it rectifies is the ruach, because the soul knows who it is. The neshama knows what its identity is. When we talk about rectification seen from the side of the neshama, it is a redemption for the neshama, this part of the soul, to come out and reveal itself. It means that the soul is broken because it comes to fulfill the function it has to fulfill, and sometimes it is also broken, and there is an exception of souls that have already made their rectification but come to teach. This means that there are souls who are obliged to come, but who have already completed their rectification and who only come to teach. Therefore, not every soul that finishes a rectification has to die. There are many people, for example, who consult me Write to me, tell me I am afraid, I think I have finished my rectification, and then it means that I am going to die.
Lucky you, isn't it?
First, I don't know how they found out that they finished their rectification. This is already very suspicious. But beyond that, many people write and tell me, "Look, Saban, I am afraid of rectifying because as long as I have work left, this way I can continue to live. It is like my imbalance is a reinsurance of my life, because if I finish with my imbalance, it means that I am going to die." Let's see, if you eventually reached sainthood, stopped being Benoni, stopped being intermediate, and reached enlightenment, you are not going to be taken to the other world. You may have to teach, and your work will continue, because the tikkun has two parts. Tikkun has my part in rectifying imbalances and my part of enhancing the virtues that I have. It means, sir, do not become unbalanced to stay alive. So, that person who believes that to stay alive, the only way to stay unbalanced is to stay unbalanced is a bad thing.
Human beings look for justifications for anything.
So we have to rectify. And if eventually someone reaches his total rectification, which I do not know how to measure this total rectification, let him know that he will not die the next day, but that he will continue to reveal light. Because the second part of rectification is to enhance the lights and virtues that we have.
In any case, this rectification is not something that one decides in the end, but it seems to be something that goes beyond us.
Everything goes beyond us, not just rectification. Everything that goes beyond us is everything. Everything goes beyond us, not only the rotation.
Yes, but in that eagerness to feel rectified, it's like you say, well, look, how can you decide something like that? That's why.
Well, but let's see. I don't want to go into free will and predestination because we are getting into another subject. But one does not have to think that one does not decide anything. One has to think that one lives to decide. Those decisions are indeed totally predetermined, but I don't want to get into that. The person has to believe that he is free. And also the person has to believe that he exists. And also the person has to believe that he eats. But he does not eat. When he eats food, he adds information. In reality, when you go to eat, you are not eating. You are programming the body's information. But of course, you can't tell people this because people will say, "What am I doing?"
Well, like what you told me at the beginning, everything. One does not believe in reincarnation. One should experience that it exists.
In reality, the person cannot believe in anything. That's right,
Exactly.
He can't believe in anything. That's why Kabbalah says, doubt yourself until the day you die. That is, you cannot believe in anything. Sure, you will tell me that you are looking good, but you cannot believe in yourself. It is not that I believe in myself, I experience myself.
I would be interested if you could share with us some information about what you have explained in reference to this experience of feeling that one has made this rotation process.
For what reason some souls remember the knowledge was processed.
Yes, that's right.
Something quite mysterious happens. Actually, from the point of view of the Kabbalah, those who claim not to remember. Their past lives in their activity in this life are remembering their past lives, are remembering their past life even if they don't know it. He who remembers his past life makes it conscious. But in what the soul is developing here today, in the unconscious is showing its past life. The past life or past lives marks the identity of the soul. When a person is developing his soul identity in this reality, situations that he did not finish closing from previous lives appear to him, even though he cannot experience his past life on a conscious level because he cannot explain it. In reality, the situations that are presented to him have to do with the nature of what he has lived before. When there is information, when there is the memory of that past life, that memory helps me to fit faster the movements that occur in my current life. And then the puzzle closes much better. It's like having information in advance. It's like going to the stock market and buying a stock that you know is going to go up. So of course it's going to go up, you're going to win. In Kabbalah, we have spiritual information in advance, and in a way that information allows me to make my rectification go much faster than it actually can. If I'm aware of my past life, I speed up my rectification process. Some people don't believe in reincarnation because they are not aware of their past life. Well, there are lots and lots of people who are not aware of their past life, but we know that your past life is influencing you in everything that is happening in this life, even though you have no awareness of your past life. And in general, issues that you can't fit into your life usually pertain to past life issues. And that's why they don't fit in this life, because they can't fit into the logic of this time-space life. It has to do with information that comes from behind.
Well, Mario, I think this topic allows us to go deeper into it. There are many things that you mentioned to me off camera that were important to discuss, and I invite you to continue working on reincarnation, the rotation of souls in a future video.
God willing.
Shalom.